guys, Artfight finally decided to change their rules. So on the 10th of May, Artfight made an announcement about their May update. And within their news post, they released a new HTML and tags update. But they also made some changes to the rules. What they basically did is they tried to give some more clarity and reworded their rules so that the staff and also the members of Artfight could understand it more. So Artfight reiterated the rule about no tracing allowed, and this included both 3D models and photos, even if they were free or you made them yourself. Now, that didn't go down too well with their community, and the news posts and their Discord blew up with a lot of people unhappy with these news changes. Now, the majority of people that were upset in the comments stated that 3D models was a well-used tool in the art world, especially by professional artists such as manga artists, and that removing such a thing was unfair because it is so widely used. Whereas a small minority of the comments stated that tracing 3D models is cheating, hence why it was not allowed on Artfight. Now, personally, I disagree with the idea of it as cheating, as long as you're using it as a guideline and you make the shape of the model your own. Like, basically, you don't just trace a model and say you're done. You've got to add some hair, some characteristics of your character, maybe tweak some limbs and stuff. There was also another rule that was made to the DNIs. Now, DNIs mean do not interact, and before the new rule changes, the only DNIs that were allowed to be used were age-related ones. So you would be like, do not interact, minors, because you might have explicit stuff on your profile that minors can't have, or you just don't feel comfortable interacting with a minor as an adult, which is fine. But the new update made it so that you can make a DNI of whatever you wanted, basically. Now, DNIs are not something that is moderated by Artfight, unless if it goes against their rules. They say that you need to just block them if they do not listen to your DNIs. Now, a lot of people didn't read the thing about if DNIs go against the rules, then you can report it and it'll be taken down. So a lot of people got mad that a lot of people could just put DNIs that were homophobic and things like that. And to be fair, a lot of the DNIs that end up like that could go under moderation because people don't see it or people don't report it. For the people that would use DNIs to go do not homophobes and racists do not interact, as much as I know why you're doing it, it's really not going to help you in any way, because the people that act that way, they do not care if it's on your profile. In fact, it gives them a better reason to target you, and they know what to target you with. So you're putting yourself at more risk of having these people interact with you by having it on your profile. So ultimately, the DNI rule doesn't really need to be made more open, because people will misuse it. So in response, Artfight made a feedback form which was open to everyone. And as of today, when I'm recording, which is the 10th of June, 2026, they announced a new rule update where they now allow tracing and guidelining. They say that the references you use for tracing and guidelining must be for artist use. So these are self-made ones, free to use, or you've paid to use it. They reiterated you cannot use AI, you cannot use 2D, it has to be 3D or a photo. Furthermore, in regards to photo bashing and collages, that I forgot to mention at the start, they now allow you to use this in attacks and character image blocking, which they didn't allow before. I think they only allowed it on your character profile, so your like references. They also decided that they would revert the rule about DNIs, and now it's back to being only age-related things, which I do believe is the right choice, and I think a lot of people also agree with me that it is the right choice. So I'm personally very happy about the changes. I think using 3D models should have been something that was always allowed, and they wouldn't have been able to moderate it properly anyway, because how would you know if someone used a 3D model? Ultimately, like, you wouldn't be able to know unless it was very, very obviously traced. But a lot of people that use 3D models are so like well versed at using it that it's really hard to tell. So there's really no use to the rule anyway, so I'm really glad that they got rid of it. The DNI thing, I don't use DNI, so I don't actually care about it, but I think for a lot of artists this is the better rule. So what do you guys think? What's your opinion on the new rules?